Hi, boys and girls. I hope you're comfortable. Lie down if you need to, but find a comfortable place. We're going to read a really pretty book called The Shabbat Box by Leslie Simpson, illustrated by Nicole Inden Bosch. It's a really pretty book. Here we go. Every Friday, someone got to take home the Shabbat box. It was a shoe box covered in velvet with Shabbat written on the cover in Hebrew letters. Inside there are candlesticks, a Kiddush cup, and a challah cover. Each week the teacher added fresh challah rolls with little sweet raisins. There was only one box. There's the box. There's the teacher. There's the challah rolls. There were 14 kids in the class. There was Eli, Sarah, Noah, Rachel, Sophie, Zachary, Sam, Rose, Ruth, Ira, Naomi, Julia, Rafi, and Miriam. That's the whole group of kids. The rule was one turn per customer, and that meant Ira would have to wait almost the whole winter for his turn to take the box home. How long until winter, he asked his mother. After the leaves fall off the trees and the snow comes, she answered. Look, she's helping him put on his pajamas. And she's talking about the winter time. How long will that be? About 14 weeks, said his mother. How long is 14 weeks? He asked. About 98 sleeps, said his mother. 98 sleeps? That feels like forever, said Ira. There he is in his bed with his teddy bear and his book and all his toys, and there's Mommy turning out the light. After many sleeps, winter arrived, and it was finally Ira's turn. Now, obviously, this is not Redondo Beach because they have snow there. He put the Shabbat box in his knapsack and started walking home. But that Friday, there was a bad snowstorm. The wind whipped his face. His eyes were so cold, they felt like popsicles. Boy, that's cold. His feet got soaked from the snow falling into his boots. When he finally made it home, he was shivering. Inside, the air was warm. His dad was making honey chicken. There was a pea soup with noodles bubbling on the stove, and he could smell a chocolate cake baking in the oven. Yum, yum. Boy, that sounds like a real feast. Ira took off his knapsack. In the storm, the flaps had opened, and the Shabbat box had fallen out. What's wrong? He asked. His dad asked. The Shabbat box is gone, he sobbed. What can we do? He lost the Shabbat box in the snowstorm. Look, his backpack opened up. They went outside to look for it. Their eyes stung from the cold, and they couldn't see through the blowing snow. Cars were sliding, and people were slipping on the ice. We'd better go back inside, his dad said. Wow, look at that. It was such a huge snowstorm. Ira began crying again. There is only one Shabbat box and I have lost it and I'm going to get in trouble. He didn't want to eat the soup or the chicken or even the chocolate cake. That's a very nice Shabbat dinner, I think. How do you think we can solve this? His mother asked. Ira thought. He thought so much his head hurt. He felt miserable. Oh man, look at that. He's so upset because he lost the box. Saturday afternoon, he was lying in his bed. He saw the empty box from his snow boots. I know what I'm going to do, he whispered. I will take a new Shabbat box and I will make it a surprise for the class. After Havdalah, that's the ceremony where we say goodbye to Shabbat, he put a do not enter sign on his bedroom door. He took his art kit out and his flashlight down from his closet. And then he pulled out the shoebox. So what do you think he was doing, boys and girls? Well, he decorated it with some shiny sparkles and some cloth. He turned his plasticine snakes into candles. That's a good word. He made a memory game with pictures of challahs, candlesticks, and wine cups, and people singing. He painted grapes on the water cup and turned it into a beautiful Kiddush cup. He painted his pillowcase and turned it into a giant challah cover. He looks like he's a very good artist, doesn't he? Very creative. He stayed up all that night designing everything. He worked by flashlight until under the covers of his bed. By the time he went to sleep, it was almost morning. On Sunday, he put lollipops and taffy and hard candies and chocolate into the box so that Shabbat would be sweet for the next week and the next child who took it home. He wrapped the box in plastic in case it fell into a snowstorm again. So he took a lot of care in what he was doing and a lot of pride. Monday was his turn for show and tell. As he unwrapped the box, the kids gathered around him. See, all the kids in the class? And he's showing his Shabbat box. He told them the story of how he lost the box in the snow and how he tried to find it. He told them how upset he was, but he left out the part that he cried because he didn't want them to think he was a baby. Then he told them how he made a new Shabbat box for the class. He took a deep breath. "I hope you like it," Ira said, and he opened the lid. Everyone peered inside. All the kids were jumping up and down saying they wanted to take Ira's box home and eat the sweets and play the memory game and try out the really cool candlesticks that look like a snake. "I have something for show and tell too," said the teacher. "But show and tell is for kids," Rachel protested. So the teacher has something to share also. "Last Friday, the day of the storm, I forgot my mittens," the teacher explained. "So I went back to school to look for them because my hands were freezing. I saw something peeking out of the snow." She took a slightly crumpled box out of the cupboard. It was, what do you think it was, boys and girls? It was the Shabbat box. "The bad news is that the challah rolls are soggy," she said, "but the good news is the box is dried and good as new." "Now we have 2 Shabbat boxes," said Ira. "Only 49 more sleeps until my next turn." And that's the end. So now they have 2 because Ira was such a creative and responsible little guy. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Have a good sleep. Bye-bye.